guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back on our FHG account. As you can see, this was the pay to win account. Since we are not putting anything into this, we did change the name. It is the FHG YouTube. Big recommendations that I got for that. So today we're going to be looking at the Temporal Rift. Now yesterday we did look at the Temporal Rift. This account again has went completely free to play. I know we have put pay to win on it before. It's been probably 3 months now that we have put anything in there. So as we're going through here, completely free, again, not putting anything into this. None of the latest events, none of the latest heroes have we put anything into. So we're going to go through, look at my Temporal Rift team that we've been building. Big shout out to In Season, big shout out to Reddit and everybody who commented on the video from yesterday. Took a lot of feedback in there. So within the Temporal Beacon, I reset all of my levels here. So we did reset this, gave us 4,149 of our little essence rate here. So we're going to be building out 3 specific trees. Now the tank and the support trees are the 2 ones that you want to really focus on. They are the ones that are going to be the survivability of your team. Now you can either choose the ranger tree at this point or the mage tree. Now, a lot of players have said the mage tree, that is what we're going with, the build that I am going to go with. So we are going to build out this mage tree up as high as we can and just go back and evenly raise these up to continue our progression through here. One thing that I am going to note on here outside of these trees is the dimensional team. So this dimensional force, when an allied dimensional hero energy is above 70%, their received health is increased by 10%. That is right, guys. The healing they are going to get. So within Dimensional Force, we are doing it one time, guys. We're doing it one single time to unlock it within there. And that is the only one we're going to use. The rest of them, as of right now, are going to be the tank and the fortitude levels as we continue to build these up. You see, you do have to go back quite a few times to continue building up the tree. But we are going to take it as high as possible, so we can continue making some room within the Temporal Rift. So ultimately, some of the things, and again, thank you guys for all of the feedback and everything that we've gotten around the Temporal Rift. One thing to note is when it comes to the Rift itself, you want to go the easiest path. There is nothing beneficial from taking a harder path. There is nothing beneficial from taking or skipping some of the paths essentially within there, which we'll get into in just a minute. All right, so we have tank at 21, mage at 24, because they're going to be our primary damage. Support at 21, so I'm happy with that. Dimensional force is at 1, so we did unlock this ability. So when their energy is above 70%, they're going to get more healing, which is awesome. Other one we look at is the deity shelter. So you do pick up some of these cores when you defeat the bosses. Deity shelters, we just max out just for the simple fact that I have not found anything else to do with these other than sit there. I don't have any other way to spend them. So the chances of getting badges is much higher within that. So that is the build that we're doing. Big reason for that, of course, looking at here, even at the mage spec, guys, look at the health, 167 million. That's right, 13 million attack, 4 million defense. The stat bonus that you get in here is absolute insanity when it comes to the Temporal Beacon. And then you stack badges behind it. So within the Temporal Rift, we're going to be running this actually quite a bit tonight. We're going to skip to floor 82. There we go. So as you can see, we do have our 5th team. So we do have, it looks like a level up. We can actually do level 9s in here. We're going to go ahead and put in our recommended heroes. Now, a couple of heroes, I'm actually going to sweep these out. A couple of heroes that are really, really shining in here, guys. And we're going to go ahead and put a couple of these in. Of course, Ainz. Ainz is going to be a hero that is going to be used again through all of AFK Arena. Merlin, absolutely amazing support within here. We have Arthur, definitely one of the very solid mitigation tanks. Albedo to go ahead and make this team absolutely shine. Now, most players within this team will put in a second support. One of the absolute biggest breakout heroes that we have seen within here is Leonardo da Vinci, guys. Leonardo da Vinci has even been eclipsing the damage that Ainz does, which I know is absolutely crazy, but he does also have a big crowd control aspect within there. Now, the second team we're building is, of course, our Graveborn team. Now, there is a variation with this that we're using. So we are doing Grez, and we are not doing Ulna, guys. Now, Ulna, remember, is a warrior. We are not building out the warrior tree. Ultimately, when you start getting into higher levels within the Temporal Rift, Ulna is dying out when the immunity ends. And Grez does not really need it. So in his place, we're actually putting Damon. Damon is a hero that scales as the levels increase. Another hero that I was really shocked that is doing absolutely amazing within the Temporal Rift is Hodgkin. So Hodgkin, remember, he is a tank, so he's going to get the effects of the tanking tree that we built. But he also is a really big buffer within here. Again, dealing with the survivability issues that we see sometimes, he can buff and do damage mitigation. Plus, he does have a little bit of crowd control. So definitely dropping Hodgkin. Then the other part that I was running, of course, was running with Silas and running with Desira. So actually running with double support within here to keep the heroes up. Because again, it is not a race to actually kill all of these heroes out as soon as possible, but you need your heroes to stay built and stay alive. Now for my last team, I've kind of went back and forth on the fence. So with this one, guys, I'm actually going to put Taylene in here. Remember, she is a support hero. We built out that support tree. Another hero that a lot of players have been saying is doing super well is Mishka. So a lot of players have said Mishka is doing awesome in here, again, based on the tank. For my damage, and a lot of players are not going to be able to do this build, but I definitely want to test it out. We can reset it, we can see how it is, but I want to see how Moreel does in here. Again, most players do not have Moreel built out, but I feel like she is very strong. She has a little bit of crowd control aspect. I want to see exactly how well she is going to do within the formation. Then, of course, guys, my go-to number one favorite hero, like most of you know, putting Rowan in here, again, support. And then again, I kind of went back and forth between either putting Mortis for the buffs or putting Twins in here for the haste buff. But that is going to be my fifth team, guys. So I'm going to have my two tanks up front. I'm going to have Moreel with the damage in the back, supported by Rowan and supported by the Twins and supported by Taylene. So I'm hoping that third team is really going to work. But this is going to be the teams that I'm utilizing within there. So I really hope it's going to be effective in here. Now, looking at the badges, this really does make a very big difference when it comes to these badges in here. For Irons, guys, Magic Absolution, absolutely. If you look in here, Wielder's attack rating is increased by 10% when the health is above 88, and it gives him a truckload of stats, guys. So that will absolutely be the one you want to drop on Irons. Now, when it comes to support heroes, Divine Mercy is what most players are using. We also see this Defender's Protection that a lot of players have been using. I do like this Divine Mercy just for the simple fact of energy points, guys. So we're looking at the ultimate abilities that we're going to have definitely energy. Same when you go over here to heroes like Silas, we'll do some energy. Heroes like Desira, another one doing a considerable amount of energy. And some of them are going to have a little bit of a lower relic level because I only have 10. These ones will actually go for these level 9 Divine Mercies. Building these out very strong. Now for the tanks a little bit different. Again, a lot of people do use the Iron Will just because of the damage reduction. There are a couple more in here like the Protective Crystal. When they are on the enemy side, they receive 5% less damage. I don't like the ones like this that are conditional. Guys, I'm reliant on my tanks to live, and that's exactly what I want. 6% of damage mitigated by shields transferred back to the attacker. Again, I'm not too worried about the damage. Warrior's Vigor, energy recovery is increased by 5% until the first enemy is slain. Again, we want them to live. When the wielder receives a shield effect, 55% AoE damage is dealt, not with the survival. Right here, guys, we're going to go, I know it's conditional. Iron Will seems pretty good too because we know we're going to have the healing. So I'm going to drop the Iron Will on here just because I like the mitigation and I really think it's going to be effective. Now, as you can see, Arthur is a tank. Albedo is a tank. Albedo gets a different set of rules, where when you look at Arthur, he did not have all of those options, so they do get a little bit of a different set. I like Mark of Water right there. They get 20% less damage if they have crowd control. So if Albedo does get some crowd control, they're going to utilize the Mark of Water. And then, of course, right here, we have our final one, which is Leonardo da Vinci, super broken with the Grace. When there are no nearby enemies, each time they use an ability excluding normal attacks, the wielder gains energy points. Again, we want him to crowd control all that he can. That is really the main factor of Leonardo, is you want him to crowd control. Now looking at Grez, you can see a couple different ones in here as well. The Protecting Light, really good when using a shield. 4% of the hero is restored. We know Grez shields a lot. We know he is going to be a shielding monster. But look at this one, guys. At the start of battle, the wielder loses 25% of their health. Wielders' attack rating is increased by 5% the whole duration. And in the first 30 seconds of battle, the healing they received is increased by 10%. So definitely a pretty strong bonus in there with the Sacrificial Orb. I'm going to drop it on him. Again, we can go through, we can see exactly how this is going to work. Now, interesting enough, most people that I've seen is using this one. Each time an entity is summoned, the wielder is granted 35 energy points. I've seen this on Damon. I'm not sure if the entity is Stitchy that's up the entire time to give him energy, but that is exactly what I've seen multiple players running on there. Then, of course, we do have a lot of different artifacts when it comes to Hodgkin. So a couple of these, again, I'm not familiar with. When alive, the wielders shall raise all of their allies' tenacity and their crit rating by 10. Once the wielder dies, they shall have energy recovery, which, you know what? I'm going to throw the cursed banner on him. A couple of these, again, this is really a trial and error, guys. Now, within the Temporal Rift, remember, this is up for 30 days. That is right, guys. After 30 days, this is actually going to reset. When there is a reset, this maxes out at floor 300, which there are a couple of heroes that are pretty close to floor 300. But once this comes live, there is going to be no cap. Again, some of these, when a summoned entity is slain, see, I don't like the situational ones. Taunting Mask. When dealing damage to an enemy, the highest attack rating is taunted, reducing their crit block rating after the taunt has ended. You know what? I'm going to go with the taunt again, because this is a team that we're going to try out. Magic, I'm going to go ahead and throw on there. I like the Grace. You know what? We're going to go with the Grace just because of the energy. Then here, Seal of Encouragement, I like, again, increasing a little bit of damage, but Divine Mercy has been proven time and time again that it works super well. Call to Action, I like too. When the wielder heals an ally belonging to the same faction, allies' attack rating shall be increased. We're going to go ahead and throw that one on just because we have a Celestial, and a Celestial, and our Celestial mainly is damage, guys. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sweep our floors. Current floor 82. Now, right here, we do have 2 Realms of Defiance. So these are both difficult realms. Achieve victory to achieve additional rewards. Now, 2 things you really want to focus on here are teams that have Athalia and teams that have Thorin. So right here, we don't have either of them. So the chances are we're actually going to drop out him. We're going to put in Leonardo. And due to Merlin having a cheat death, so if he actually takes fatal damage, he's going to turn into his owl. He's going to fly around a little bit. We are actually going to put him front row, and this is the setup we're going to be using within this build. I really hope it's effective in here. But this is the build that we are going to use to do damage mitigation. All allied survive, so we're going to get our free reset for badges. Most of these badges, I think at this point, we probably won't even use, just because we're pretty close to where we're at. But even looking here, 8 to 9, I want to try to stay kind of with the same badges. So there we go. So we have an 8 to 10, adding a ton of stats there. Now, when it comes to choosing next floors, always choose the easiest floor. So kind of, again, what a lot of people have said, make sure you're choosing the easiest floor out of here, because it doesn't make a difference. If you have the badges already, it's not going to make a difference when it comes to running the more difficult floors. Just go ahead and clear the max amount of floors you can, because they are going to be significantly easier, even if you do not need it. The Book of Blood, again, I'm not looking to replace a lot of these relics. We can always do a reset and see if we have the same relic. So 9 to 9, so not going to be a difference in there. Again, easiest realm, guys, as we continue through here. Couple things that I don't like is going back 25 floors. I feel like that is entirely too much to go through. But there's the cannon, guys. That cannon does an AoE stun to everyone on the battlefield, which is awesome. That is the reason Leonardo has been used for a ton of places. Even here, 8 to 9, if the wielder does not receive damage, normal attack speed, that doesn't make a difference for Rowan. I'm not really worried about it. Again, 2 strong realms within here. We have Khazard. I see no Thorin. I see no Athalia in there. So we are going to continue our progression in here. And again, you can go through, you can skip the battles. Boom, everyone's healed. Ainz is almost ready to ult. Perfect setup for the next battle. Looking at the seals, trying to stay with the same ones that we have. The reason we chose them, 2 or more enemies are within range. Normal attack is increased. Not too worried about the normal attack, honestly, within Arthur. Again, look, we got no Thorin, we got no Athalia. Those are the 2 heroes that you have to look for in here, guys. Those are the 2 heroes that are destroying teams, and absolutely destroying teams. Look, after several damages dealt to the wielder's normal, damage received by the target from the wielder is increased. Again, not worried about that damage because we're worried about more reels. Thorin. So interesting team. So here it is, guys. So we have a Thorin team comp. So within a Thorin team comp, this team is actually going to drop out. This team does not do well because of the taint ability that Thorin has. But in return, the Graveborn team does incredibly well. This is the point where you are going to drop this on. So the taint ability theoretically should come right down here to Desira, which she should be able to mitigate, or between both of them should be able to mitigate pretty well to make it through here. And also that retaliation ability. You need the immunity, you need the damage mitigation that Hodgkin brings to go ahead and break through that Thorin setup. Now you can continue running this team if you want to. Again, the big thing there, when the wielder slays 2 targets, they're granted 15 crit and 15 crit rating, 15 block when the wielder becomes invulnerable. That's pretty strong. I know this one's pretty good as well. Then we also do have, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go with the Shadow Blade. Again, 2 tough realms. Looking in here, we have no Athalia, we have no Thorin. You can stay with this team. It should do pretty well versus these setups. And just continue the progression in here, guys. And make sure, guys, that pay attention to the stat increase. You can even see here, Deity's Shelter right there in the bottom. So that is actually an effect that we got from having that beacon, giving him a stronger relic there. Now, this is where it comes to the easiest floors, guys. Now, this one will give us another relic. This one will just give us a pass through the Blessed Realm. Always choose either the first random badge or a chance to reset the badge. The middle one, the curse effect, is not worth it because you could get a bunch of really tough floors, which would be super difficult. So just pick up a random badge, see if the badge is worth it, which it is not for Albedo. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip. Same with this floor. So we could go through here, we could pick up a badge, or we could go with the Phoenix Rising, even though we're not going to use it because there are no heroes to be resurrected. We skip the floor. We progress to the next floor. Also pay attention to the Grievous Realm. Powerful enemies. This one has this little heart. So the little heart will actually give you a little bit more power if you have victory, but you can also see that it's a little bit stronger than the Realm of Defiance, and this is the Grievous Realm. Go through the path of least resistance. There is Thorin again, guys. We have our Graveborn team in here to deal with Thorin. this should be no problem to take it down. All right, so we're just going to continue through here with the teams that we have. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Very cool to see the progression. Again, thank you guys for all of the feedback that we got from the videos yesterday. I'm hoping to make a new record with the floors that we're running through here. Very cool to see. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the team dynamics. I want to see how that more real team works in here. And as always, thank you guys for watching.